Ethan Donovan, one of New York's youngest billionaires, pushed open the door of a small, dimly lit diner on the corner of Fifth Avenue. Rain poured mercilessly outside, soaking his suit and matching the heaviness in his chest. He didn't belong in a place like this. His world revolved around luxury restaurants and private chefs, but something about this forgotten diner pulled him in. Maybe it was the ache behind his eyes from endless business deals, or the ache in his heart from living a life surrounded by noise but never connection. As soon as he stepped inside, warmth wrapped around him. The smell of freshly brewed coffee drifted through the air. He shook off the rain, glanced around the room, and that's when he saw her, Claire Bennett. She moved between tables with a gentle grace, her auburn hair tied in a messy bun, exhaustion showing in the dark circles under her eyes, yet a genuine smile still touching her lips. She carried herself with a resilience that drew Ethan in instantly. Taking a seat by the window, he watched raindrops race down the glass until Claire approached him. "Coffee?" she asked, her voice soft and welcoming. "Yes, please," he replied, caught off guard by how calming she sounded. As she set the cup down, Ethan noticed her hands trembling. Her uniform was faded and frayed, but her smile, though tired, never wavered. "What brings you here on a night like this?" Claire asked while wiping the next table. "Just needed a change of scenery," Ethan said, his gaze lingering on her longer than he intended. She gave a small nod. Sometimes a new place helps clear the mind. Over the next hour, Ethan sipped his coffee slowly, just to watch her work. Something about her laugh, her kindness with customers, the quiet strength she radiated, it silenced the chaos inside him. When the diner began to empty, Claire finally sat at the counter, unaware he was still watching. "You always work this late?" he asked. She jumped slightly. "Oh, yeah. Double shift today. Gotta make ends meet." "That sounds tough." "It is," she admitted, her smile faltering for the first time. "But it's life. You keep going." That night turned into many. Ethan found himself returning to the diner again and again, drawn by her warmth. They talked about everything, dreams, regrets, the loneliness they both carried. Claire shared her struggles, losing her parents in a car accident 2 years earlier and being left to raise her younger brother, Dylan. Double shifts were the only way she could pay rent and keep him in school. Ethan never told her who he really was. He introduced himself simply as Ethan, a businessman. He didn't want his wealth to build walls between them. One night after closing, Claire confessed, "Sometimes I wonder if I'll ever get out of this cycle, working non-stop and barely surviving." Ethan wanted to offer money, but instead he said softly, "You deserve more, Claire. You're stronger than you realize." Her eyes glistened. "Thank you. Sometimes I just need to hear that." Months passed, and Ethan found himself falling in love, not with her beauty, but with her heart. One evening, he knew he couldn't hide the truth any longer. "Claire, I have to tell you something," he began, voice shaky. "I'm the CEO of Donovan Enterprises." She froze. "You're the billionaire. The one in the news all the time." He nodded. Hurt swept across her face. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I didn't want my money to change how you saw me," he said. "You're the first person who's treated me like just a man." She looked away, swallowing hard. "I never needed your money, Ethan. I just needed honesty." It took time, but she forgave him. Still, he hated seeing her struggle. He knew she loved cooking, that she dreamed of doing something more with her life. So one morning, Claire received a letter, an acceptance into a prestigious culinary school. Confused, she checked the sender, Ethan Donovan. When she confronted him, he simply smiled. "I know how much you love cooking. Let me help you chase that dream. It's a scholarship, no strings attached." Tears filled her eyes. She realized he wasn't trying to buy her. He was trying to give her a chance. She accepted. Months passed. Claire excelled at the academy, and eventually, she opened her own restaurant. Ethan stood beside her, not as a billionaire, not as her rescuer, but as the man who believed in her even when she doubted herself. During the grand opening, surrounded by lights, laughter, and applause, Ethan raised a toast. "You never needed saving, Claire. You only needed someone to remind you how strong you already are." With tears shining in her eyes, Claire kissed him, grateful not just for the opportunity, but for the love that saw her heart before her struggle. Their story became a reminder. True love isn't about wealth or status. It's about belief, honesty, and lifting each other higher.